Yo, so in the past, I've had a lot of conversations with friends, young athletes, teammates, coaches, about all types of different situations and subjects regarding performance, life, just in general, um, competing. And so I would like to pass on some of that learning that I've had and some of those lessons from those conversations that I've had to you. So today's question that we're going to be discussing is, how do you know when you're actually ready to start something, or if you're just procrastinating because you're scared? I mean, that's it's tough. Like, there's a lot of different scenarios where this could be happening. The easiest one for me to think about it in terms of like trying to figure out how I would answer this question. The easiest context for me to put it in is in competition, just because like that's what I know the best. But if you think about it that way, like, the competition doesn't care if you're ready. Um, the competition is a set day, and it's going to happen regardless if you're ready or not. So, like, if you're signed up for that competition, there's no procrastinating the competition to another day when you feel ready. And so, thinking about it that way, it's like, what can I compare in life to competitions? A lot of things, really. Like, anything you're trying to start, like, it could be a new habit. You could just be going to sleep on time. If you just treat it like there's a set day that this is happening regardless if I'm ready or not, and the deadline doesn't change depending on how I'm feeling, then that's a easier way of thinking about it. But let's go with the example of trying to set a new bedtime or establish a new time where you're going to sleep at a decent hour. So let's say you go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning usually, and now you're wanting to get more sleep, go to sleep earlier, and so you're gonna push that up to 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. That's a pretty crazy jump, 4 hours difference. And so you want to start implementing this as soon as possible. And so you're gung-ho, you're motivated, and you're just like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to sleep at 10 p.m. And then tomorrow comes, and you're just like, it gets to 9:45, and you still have laundry in the washing machine that you gotta move to the dryer. You still have to take a shower and brush your teeth, do your nightly routines. You still gotta scroll on social media for 30 minutes before you go to bed. So you realize you're not gonna make it, and you're like, well, I mean, I tried, but I'm just not ready yet. Everything wasn't, the situation wasn't perfect. And so I'm gonna try and do better tomorrow. We're gonna push it. We're gonna just go to sleep whenever tonight, and then tomorrow I'll be ready. I'll come back ready, and I'll go to sleep on time. And tomorrow comes. Do a little bit better. You don't have laundry in the washing machine at 9:50 this night, but you still haven't started your bedtime routine until 9:55. You still feel like you need to scroll for at least 30 minutes. And so day 2 is here, and you still are like, well, I guess I'm just not ready to make my bedtime this early yet. And so you just go to sleep whenever that night again. And you say, I'm gonna come back more ready tomorrow. And then that just keeps on happening and happening and happening. And so, like, you can use another situation example of like wanting to start a new business idea. And let's say you're wanting to do a taco stand on the corner, selling tacos and snow cones. And you don't know all the details yet, but you know, okay, I want just chicken and beef tacos, and I'm gonna do 3 flavors of snow cones. Super simple. So you got that planned out. You scouted out a prime location. You know, oh, this corner right here, that's a good corner. I can definitely make a bunch of money there. But you don't know any other details. And so you kind of get into the planning and preparation mode. And next thing you know, a couple weeks go by of you just planning and trying to figure things out. And you're gaining, you feel like you're gaining steam. You're getting a lot of stuff figured out. But then another couple weeks go by and you're still planning and trying to make everything perfect, when like you got the basics figured out. You got the legal stuff figured out already, and you have the location, and you have what you're gonna sell. You pretty much have everything you need figured out. Now you're just like, you're trying to perfect everything before you go out and actually do it, because you don't want to go out and just make a fool of yourself. And so like this cycle just keeps repeating, and you just continued like finding new ways to prepare more and plan more, finding new things that, oh, I need to plan this out, oh, I need to build this. And then eventually it gets to a point where it's just like, you've been planning for a year now. How are you not ready? Yeah, so I mean, those situations are like the best situations I could think of, just off the top of my head. But yeah, I think those really like exemplify like just procrastinating because you can procrastinate it. Whereas in the competition scenario, there was no option to procrastinate it. You're either gonna go to the competition or you're not. So like moving on into the next phase of this conversation, we're going to talk about another question. And that question is, did I feel ready when I first started throwing? Or did I kind of just jump into it? And the answer to that is no. No, I didn't feel. I was not even close to feeling ready. Are you kidding? Because I started in junior high, 7th grade, and I really only did it because I wanted to be in the athletics class, because I knew I didn't want to be in PE. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be one of the sport people, because that's what my brother did, and he was in the athletics class when he was that age, and so I just wanted to follow in his footsteps. But I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff I did at that age, I was never ready for anything. I was just always terrified, but I had to do it. I didn't have a choice. And so, yeah, I was definitely not ready when I first started throwing, and I still wasn't ready ever. I mean, even like going into college, and it was never like a thing where I was like I felt like I needed to be ready to join the track team. It was more like, oh, I would like to try this. This sounds like something I can do. They'll teach me how to do it, so might as well do it and try and learn how to do it along the way. And I think that kind of mindset, like we overcomplicate things as we get older, but like if you just hold on to that kind of mindset where you're like, I mean, I'll learn as I go. I know I'm gonna suck for a while, but like I don't need to be perfect when I start. I think if you can hold on to a mentality like that, it makes it a lot easier to just get started on things. Yeah. Next question that we're going to discuss: is there ever actually a moment where everything feels ready, or is that kind of a myth? I mean, I don't know if it's a myth necessarily. There are times where you do feel confident and ready, but it's well after you started. Like that doesn't come until well into you doing the thing for a long time and just like getting reps in and getting ugly reps in and working very hard at it. And in the lens of throwing, I don't think that comes until you're either like delusional, where it's like, I mean, I don't care what you have the mindset of like, I don't care how much work I put in, I'm gonna do great regardless. You're like at that state of delusion, or you get to a point where you put in so much work and preparation where you're like, oh yeah, like I know I'm confident in the work I put in, and I'm confident that like I've done this multiple times and I can do it again, and even like my average performance is good enough to do well at this whatever stage. In the lens of like, I don't know, starting a business or starting a new venture that you are wanting to do, a new hobby, I don't think you ever, I mean, I don't think it takes as long to get to that point where you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for what the day is going to throw at me. or I'm ready to go do this thing, this new thing. That's exciting. I don't think it takes as long to get to that point with just regular stuff or just like work stuff, business stuff. But I still don't think that it comes before you start. I think just no matter what, it's gonna be like, unless you're starting something that you're already proficient at, like you've already done it but in a different way, like let's say you've started a business before, and so like the steps to starting the business, but it was a snow cone business, and now you're trying to start a new business, but this time it's like a public speaking business. Different realms, but still, like, you know how the gist of it goes, and you know the steps that you need to take. So like at that point you would probably be like, hey, I'm ready to start this. But like outside of that scenario, I don't really see many other scenarios where you would feel like absolutely certain and ready that it's time to start doing something new. I feel like it's just like a jump in type of thing, and learn as you go, and use the experience to help you learn. I think that's something that a lot of people don't take full advantage of, is like they don't understand that you can level up so much faster if you just like get the experience and fall on your face and just start doing it, so you can fall on your face faster and use that experience of falling on your face to learn the course so you don't fall on your face again. I think that helps you just level up way faster than you would if you just tried to build everything before you started. Next question. What's the downside of just waiting until everything feels perfect? It's exactly what I was just saying. If you just continue waiting until everything feels perfect, you're going to be waiting forever. I don't think it's ever going to feel perfect, unless it's like one of those scenarios that I described. But like, I would say probably like 90% of situations where you're trying to start something, whether it be a business or a new relationship or a new hobby or like a new technique in your throw or a new journey, I'd say 90% of those situations, it's never gonna get to a point where like you're like, oh yeah, preparation's done, planning is done, it's time to execute, I feel ready, I feel like everything's perfect now. I don't think it ever gets to that point. It's just like a moving goalpost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're trying to hit a moving target, and you're just going to continue to find new ways to keep yourself busy planning or preparing. Yeah. Next question. Have you ever started something before you felt ready and it actually worked out? I mean, plenty of things, I think. Like, I'd say every job I've had, I never felt like I was ready. um, the first day, every time the first day of anything came around, I was like, I am not ready. We need to push this back another week. But then, like, once I got there, it was like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But half of the time, that was more so just like anxiety and of being in a new place and talking to new people and having conversations with people that I don't know, and just like fear of saying something crazy, or just being awkward. But yeah, every time I've ever had a first day of anything, I was always like, take me out. Get me out of here, coach. I can't do it. When I started playing football and the first day came around, I was like, nope, I don't want to go. First day of college, going to college for track, I was like, this is a cool thought. Being on my own, living on my own, and doing track in college. It sounds cool. I don't know how much I really want to do it. Like, when it was time to go, like, move in, I was pretty terrified. I'd say, like, the only times when I was like, whatever. Well, it was like continuing to do something. So, like, continuing to throw after college. I was like, yeah, it's no big deal. Like, I'm just going to be doing the same thing I was doing before. I don't really have to reinvent the wheel here or, like, learn from beginning. But yeah, I mean, all of those situations worked out. They worked out fine. And even recently, like, I've started doing, like, new habits, and, like, I know myself, if I just don't start and, like, set a hard deadline, I'll never start. I'll just keep on pushing it. So, like, going back to the bedtime thing, like, we'll get past a certain hour and I'll still have stuff to do, and I'll be like, well, I guess we gotta try again tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, same exact thing happens. Like, oh, I guess we gotta try again next week. And it just keeps on happening. But, like, if I set that day, like, that hard deadline where I'm like, okay, we're starting right now, today. I'm making sure early in the day that everything is set up for this to happen at night. Then it'll happen. Same thing with, like, other habits that I've been trying to pick up, like journaling every morning. Like, there was just, like, a day where I was like, all right, we're gonna start this today, and it's okay if it sucks. Like, if I don't get all however many pages, we're just gonna start slow and have grace with ourselves to suck, but we're not gonna skip. And so, like, we're gonna start today at this sucky level, and we're just gonna keep on building on it. And then, like, other examples are, like, I've been trying to do different things to provide value for people and to bring in some income for myself. So I've done, like, coaches clinics. I've done like throwing camps for kids and all of those things. Like, yeah, I planned them out, but it got to a point where I was like, all right, it's time to execute and start doing things on, like, to make this happen. And having those like set days where there were deadlines, that helped to be like, all right, it's time to step on the gas here. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, all those examples, they all worked out. In the end, I got better as I went along. And I mean, with throwing, it's been a long journey of just like, sometimes I would like want everything to be perfect right then and there, but I mean, for the most part, the journey has been like, I know I'm gonna suck for a little bit whenever I'm doing something new, and so I'm not really afraid to suck. I try and take that into other aspects of what I do in life. Like, be okay with sucking, but not okay with skipping, or not okay with like postponing things. Just give it your best shot, try it out, and like, the quicker you start and try something out, the quicker you'll learn, like, this is fun, or I hate this, or this is not for me. That was the other thing I was gonna say. It was like, everything might not work out. Like, some things might just not be for you, and the quicker you start and dive into it, the quicker you'll find that out. So the less time you'll waste. And then I think like one final example of something that I've started without being like ready for it, or like having everything perfectly planned and polished, is like this YouTube series that I'm doing. Like, I am kind of just winging it. And we'll see where this takes us. But yeah, the final question is, so what would I say to someone who's stuck waiting to feel ready? I mean, pretty much the same thing I've been saying this whole time. It's just like, you keep on waiting, you're going to be waiting forever. So either do it now and do it scared, and do it halfway ready and figure it out as you go and get better as you go and learn and use the experience to help you get better, or just don't do it at all. Just stop wasting your time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So like, last thing I'll leave you with is a question for you. What's the thing that you've been thinking about starting, but you keep telling yourself you're not ready yet? If you want to answer that in the comments, go ahead. If you just want to think it over, that's fine too. Yeah, I'll see you next time.